Hello, hello. This is Dallas Cohen, and you are watching an episode of Dallas Cohen, the Rebound Coach, on the Rebound Coach Live. I am super excited that you are here today. This is going to make for a fun conversation. Um, there's a lot to unpack tonight. So, in case this is the first time that you and I are meeting, if you are watching this recording on Facebook, or you're listening to a replay on Clubhouse, or you are watching one of my uploads on YouTube and you're like, who is this person? What is a rebound coach? And why the heck should I listen to you? Again, I'm Dallas Cohen, the Rebound Coach. I'm really, really happy that you're here. Coaches help people get unstuck. And so I have the honor of helping high achieving women of faith who live through betrayal, trauma, or abuse reclaim territory in their relationship with themselves. And you're like, yeah, that sounds like a lot of big fancy words. What exactly does any of that mean? So we are sharing time today because I was in a marriage where for 10 years, where the man I was married to wanted me dead and almost had his chance to act out his plans. He and his adulteress had been plotting my murder for months by the time I found out about it. And through a dramatic and providential series of events, I was set free. I was delivered. And my kids and I are safe and well. We're thriving. We're continuing to heal. We're continuing to unlearn patterns that got me stuck. And I'd like to share some of those things with you tonight in an episode that we are calling Turkey with a Side of Power Struggle. So I thought that was really funny. I don't know if you thought it was funny, but I got a kick out of that title. So we're going to talk about that today. In case anything in the 30-second version of my story resonated with you, I wrote a book out of not just what happened in the dramatic effects of my marriage, but my life. It's a life story because situations of domestic violence or situations of spiritual abuse or emotional abuse or financial abuse or what is known in our culture as toxic relationships, they don't just start in adulthood. You know, there are things that happen in our lives, experiences, and how we interpret those experiences that shape our understanding, that influence our decisions, and can put us in a situation where certain treatment was okay. And so in my situation, in my circumstance, being raised as I had, being a caretaker for a terminally ill parent, going through homelessness, et cetera, there were situations that prepared me to expect a certain kind of treatment and a lack of a certain kind of treatment. That was not the only factor in play. There were a lot of factors in play, but that was one of them. And so I start the book talking about the beginning and not the end. And if you have lived through any sort of abuse, any sort of domestic violence, betrayal, trauma, any of that, this book is for you. It's called I Choose Life, Rewrite Your Love Story and Change Your Legacy. And you can find it at the Rebound Coach /book. That is the Rebound Coach /book. You can get an ebook copy from Amazon or have them ship it to you, or you can get one of these hard copies and I will sign it for you myself and put it in the mail. So I wanted to share that with you. This book has helped so many people, and it is a great honor that my story is impacting anyone. And I invite you to check it out. So, okay. Tonight's topic, it is part of a series. I like series. And so we're doing a series on escaping holiday horrors. It is that time of year, my friends, where folks gather. All the communities host gatherings. So if you're in a church community, work parties happen this time of year. volunteer, like whatever communities you circle in, they're having gatherings right now. Home groups are having gatherings right now, right? So families and lack thereof, right? And it comes with a lot. It comes with a lot. We put a lot of societal expectation on this type of time of year and the kind of stuff that goes on this time of year. So I am launching a series to help us all in times like these. Okay. And we're starting with Turkey with a Side of Power Struggle. Have you ever, ladies and gentlemen, have you ever found yourself in a power struggle? And that can happen any time of year. It does not have to wait till holiday time till you're at a table with friends and foes, and everybody's trying to play nice, but it can be difficult sometimes, right? So if you ever found yourself in a power struggle with someone and feeling like you can't get out, right? Just feeling like I wish this wasn't happening and I have no way to stop it. It can be very cyclical once you start in that. It's almost like if you've ever been on those gravitrons. Okay, y'all. I know I'm dating myself when I talk about this. Back in the day, there was this this my phone just completely restarted. So I think I lost the Clubhouse folks. But back in the day, there was this ride in the carnivals, and we had this boardwalk thing. So they had this thing, it looked like a space age circular something or other. And you get in the ride, and there's no like seats. It's all these walls. So it's a round thing you get into, and I hope I'm doing this justice. So there's a round thing you get into, and then there's like a spaceship. You walk into the spaceship, and there's no seats. There's just these walls. It's like a triangle shaped spaceship. Okay. If you can imagine, like a diamond shape. All right. So it goes down, right? You're inside, and there's walls of slats. Okay. They're padded slats. So they're narrow, wide enough for a person standing to lean back on this slat. And they're all the way around, okay? And these slats go up and down, right? They're not connected, but they go up and down. So people lean on them, and then the diamond-shaped spaceship kind of ride starts spinning, and it spins really fast. That's the ride. It spins so fast you get sucked to the wall. and then those things just slide up and down, and you're up and you're down, and you're up and you're down, sliding on the thing, okay? And so that's the ride, and it's called Gravitron. And it was always weird how you're stuck, and the G force, right? The force of the spinning thing keeps you stuck on that wall. And it's kind of like that when we get into power struggles. You started, and maybe you started in a good thing. Yeah, I know. People are like, can't hear you. What's going on? My whole computer started over. So that's what happened. And they can't hear me. And I'm going to try to get back set up on Clubhouse. If you guys are on Clubhouse, just know my phone just decided it was going to start over. It just turned itself off and said, I'm going to start over. And so I lost my Clubhouse audience, but I'm coming right back to it if possible. And you guys have to tell me if I'm back. So hopefully I'm back over there on Clubhouse. I'm sorry, guys. My phone just decided to start itself all over again. And so I lost you for a moment, but I am back. Anyway, so I'm talking about power struggle. I'm talking about how it can get away from us, and how it's kind of like the Gravitron ride back in the day. If you guys remember that, where, you're in this thing and it's spinning so fast, and it's spinning so tightly that you can't stop. You can't stop, right? You can't get up. You're stuck to the wall, and you're just going to have to wait till this thing stops spinning. And so many times we get into power struggles with people. Now, look, this can happen between any two people. So a parent and a child, a parent and a teenage child or an adult child, siblings, cousins, niece and nephew, it doesn't matter. Any two people can get involved in a power struggle. Somebody you are working with, a colleague, someone you're going to church with, a family member, a spouse, a significant other, anybody, right? And so it's easy to get into, like that gravitron ride, and it's hard to stop. Once you're in that force, there's no getting up. You have to wait until that ride is over and the activity of your limbs return, right? So I don't know if y'all remember gravitron. Anyway, what do you do? What do you do when you're in that? You're like, oh man, it is too late. Right? I am in this thing. I'm in this thing. Okay. So I want to tell you a story. I can't do anything about it at this point with Clubhouse. I hope it can hear me, but there's nothing else I can do. Okay. So I had this fabulous conversation with my children. I learn a whole lot from conversations with my children. And once upon a time, we were on the way home from school, and they're in the back of the car arguing over whether or not what day it was, right? It's the 5th. No, it's the 6th. No, it's the 5th. No, it's the 6th. They're 10 and 11. Okay. So right now there's a lot of chatter. Energized chatter is what we're going to call it. So we're not going to call it arguing. We're going to call it energized chatter. So one of them looks up what day it is and says, it's this day. Ha ha. And the other one says, what, you think you get a trophy for being right? And the other one says, no, but I give myself a trophy in my heart. Which I thought was, I'm in the front seat trying not to giggle, right? But I think I did, because that was funny. And it's so accurate. It is so accurate how we give ourselves little heart trophies when we're right, or when we think we're right. And so the other one says, I made some comment to her, like, it's okay to make a mistake, and it's okay to be wrong about something. Everybody makes mistakes. This is normal. And it's okay to say, I was wrong. I made a mistake. And she says, I don't want to be wrong. And yeah, I understand. Nobody wants to be wrong. We all have this innate drive, centrifugal force, if you will, towards being right. We really want to be right, even when what we consider right is detrimental, or it works in the other direction of our goals and of the life we say we want and the person we say we want to be, what we believe, whatever that is. So we've talked about stories in the past, stories we tell ourselves. That counts as truth that we fight to be right in. Okay. So, in this case, it's this day. No, it's this day. And she says, I don't want to be wrong. I said, nobody wants to be wrong. But I tell you what, it happens to everybody, and the girl who says she gets hearts trophies, I was saying, am I wrong for giving myself a trophy in my heart? And I said, no, we all do this. We all do this. And so I found myself in such a situation most recently, in a power struggle. And it really can spiral out of control. And the unfortunate result is that someone gets hurt. Two people, however many people are involved, get hurt in power struggles. And we have to look at what's more important and be honest. I found myself in that situation. in a power struggle with someone over things I believed I was right about, and that other person believed they were right, and nobody was going to yield, and we were in an impasse, right? And arguing the finer points of our perspectives was finding to be very futile. It was not a good use of anyone's time and energy. We weren't getting anywhere. And, the longer it went, the more below the belt the comments went, the more painful, at least for me, they became. And I had to make some decisions about how we were going to proceed right in the moment, and then afterwards, how we were going to proceed. And so I just want to give you a principle or two, okay, towards this. All right. Instead of clinging to right and truth, again, we do this like tooth and nail. And so even if the thing is bad, right? So very often people will have self-talk stories that are negative about themselves. I can't do this, or I don't have time, or there's not enough money, or I'll never get it done. I'll never get it right, right? Whether or not that came from somebody in our childhood or it's something we picked up along the way, our stories we fight to make true, even in the face of the opposite. So let's say the story is I'm unlovable. And let's also say there's lots of people around you that love you, right? Or, I'm no good. And there's lots of good, not only great things about you, but people that tell you the great things about you. If the story in your mind and your heart is there's nothing good about me, no matter how much someone notices or you notice, you won't believe it. You know, people talk a lot, believers, faith based people talk a lot about your identity in Christ, your identity in Christ, your identity in Christ, your identity in Christ, like it's a magic potion. Okay, check it. If you don't love you, if you don't believe in you, if the stories that you tell yourself and that you cling to be right about are antithetical to your identity in Christ, you won't believe it. So, in a sense, it wouldn't matter what the Bible says about you. If you don't believe it, it won't sink in, right? You won't make decisions based off that truth. You make decisions based off the internal truth that's already present. So, what do you do when you're in that struggle with yourself, with someone else, at the Thanksgiving table? What do you do? Okay. I'm going to give you 3 principles. Again, they are not mutually exclusive. They are not exhaustive, right? There's other strategies. I'm just going to give you 3. What I tell my children is when there's a conflict between doing the right thing and being right, choose to do right as opposed to being right. Now that sounds real good. It's harder than it sounds, right? It's simple but not easy. Doing the right thing instead of being right can mean letting somebody else have the upper hand in a verbal exchange. That's what it can mean. Or it can mean just bowing out. Now, does that mean I have to make decisions that are detrimental to myself or my children? No, that's not what it means. Okay. So in situations of emotional abuse or spiritual abuse, especially in a marriage, there's a power struggle in play. And in many cases, not all cases, in many cases, a woman is made to feel like she has to, move along to get along. And she gives him the power in many circumstances to keep peace, to avoid abuse, things such as that. That is not what I'm talking about here. So I want to be really clear. I want to be really clear about that. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about situations that do not involve danger. for yourself or for children in your care, for other people that you are responsible for. Okay, so we're not talking about situations of abuse. That's a whole different dynamic. What I am saying, in cases of you're seeing family members you don't normally see, during the year, and they come in with their stuff. Okay. Okay. What are the actual facts of the case? I had a benefit in my recent power struggle situation. The benefit was, well, there were several benefits, but one of the big ones, there was a third party present who was not involved in the original drama, which is great because third parties have perspectives. They have a clear perspective because they weren't involved. They weren't there. They don't have that history, whatever the history is. They can see with a set of eyes that was not involved, right? And so my third party friend um, gave a phrase that I remembered because it was a visual, right? And this is what happens. There are facts of the case, and then there is our interpretation of those facts, right? The phrase she used was the meaning making machine, which was so good. I love it. It was so good because that's exactly what it was, right? These are the facts of the case. This is what I think those facts meant. This is what that other person thought those facts meant. And we're fussing over that. Meanings. Well, that's not what I meant. Well, that's not what I said. Well, this is what I said. Well, that is what I did. No, this is what you did, right? So, what are the actual facts of the case, right? How do you deal with that power struggle? Okay. Meanings, we separated those meanings. And check it. When you're in the thick, you're not necessarily going to be able to do all this. So this is prep work. We are a week before Thanksgiving talking about this. This is prep work for you. You know who you're going to spend time with. You know their issues. You know your issues. All right. Or at least you should. This is the opportunity to really be okay. I don't like so-and-so because X. Okay. Whatever that is. And you look at it. Is X a fact or something you've added meaning to a fact about? Is it extra? Did you add meaning to whatever happened or did not happen? Whatever you're holding against this person? And you are holding something against the person. No, they did X, Y, and Z. They could have done the worst thing in the whole world. You're holding something against them if sight unseen, we're already upset, right? Let's be honest about that. And beautiful thing is you're in control of what you hold against a person. You're not in control of their behavior. You're not in control of anything that they're going to say or do. You are in control of you, and you're in control of what you decide to hold a grudge about. Okay. Again, we're not talking about safety. That's a whole different conversation. We're not talking about safe. Somebody is not safe, and that includes not emotionally safe. You need to make an informed and powerful decision about who you're spending your time with and why. Okay. So we're not talking about unsafe. Okay. So these are people that are safe, but bothersome for one reason or another. Okay. All right. What are the facts of the case? What are you really there for? That's so number one is doing the right thing versus being right. Number two is what are the actual facts of the case? Number three is what are you really there for? Okay. Keep the main thing the main thing. If you're there to make memories, if you're there to make difference, if you are there to show your children their extended family, or to create new meaning, or to make a memory, or to make a family tradition, whatever it is, keep the main thing the main thing. You're not there to prove your political side is the right one. Whatever that side is, or your side of whatever issue, and they all should believe you, right? You're not there to make converts, religious people. You're not there to make converts. That's not why they invited you to dinner, okay? Or why they're going to see you. So keep the main thing the main thing. You're there for family, you're there for fellowship, you're there to make memories. You're there to be a positive impact on someone's life. Yes, you can be a positive impact on the lives of the people that you know and love, okay, that you may not see very often. And this is an opportunity to speak life into someone. Well, what about me? I need people to speak life into me, and I need. Okay, we reap what we sow. You have an opportunity to sow life and beauty and care and kindness into another human being. Keep your focus there instead of what they are or are not doing for you or did not do to you in the past. Take an opportunity to be light and to be love and to be goodness in someone's world. So those are my 3 points on how to deal with power struggle, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this because I certainly did. And also, I do want to hear from you. If you are watching this on the replay on Facebook or you're checking this out on YouTube, please share a comment with me. Let me know what resonated with you about this. I was really blessed last week in our Clubhouse chat where we got to talk about this. We always talk after these Facebook Lives, so you can always find us on Clubhouse. The name of the room is the name of this episode here, Turkey with a Side of Power Struggle, which I don't think anybody else has a room named that on Clubhouse right now. So you can find us there. And I was really blessed last week with Elder Joanne and how she shared that these weekly the Rebound Coach live episodes are really blessing her, and how she got a new level of freedom out of our domestic violence series in the month of October. And it just really blessed me. So if these episodes are being a blessing to you, if you're learning, if you're growing, if there's something you were reminded of that's going to help you in this season of holiday gatherings, please let me know. That encourages me to know that it's making an impact. And there's a few opportunities in the beginning of 2023. Can't believe we're already planning for 2023, but I am very excited. There's some really cool things coming up. We're doing a Reclaim group coaching experience, reclaiming territory in your relationship with yourself, starting in January, when everyone is energized towards doing good for themselves. We are going to take that on, and stay tuned for information on that. There's also a Healing Day, Safe Touch, a live event in February of next year here locally in the Tampa Bay area. And of course, our Sanctuary XP, Sanctuary Experience for Women, a 3-day event in April. So lots on the calendar. Exciting things happening. And I'm excited to do life with all of you. So thank you for joining me today. Thank you for spending time with me. I do hope that you are inspired, equipped, and empowered for the future, for even the days, weeks, and months ahead. So blessings. Thanks for joining me. And until next week, choose life.